Today we are going to discuss about the atomic structure and current flow mechanism in a semiconductor material. We know semiconductor is a group 4 element. That means it has 4 valence electrons. So semiconductor materials have 4 valence electrons, and to complete the octet and to become stable it needs 4 more electrons. The atoms are bonded together by using covalent bonding to complete the octet. So the bonding technique used in the case of semiconductor is covalent bonding. And we know the covalent bonding is done by using sharing of electrons. Covalent bonding is done by using sharing of electrons. To understand this concept, let's consider the atomic structure of semiconductor material. This is the atomic structure of a semiconductor material. Here the yellow circles represents the atoms and these solid white lines represent the bonds. Now when we consider an atom, it will share its 4 valence electrons with 4 adjacent atoms. When we consider this atom, it will share its 1 valence electron with this atom, the second valence electron with this atom, the third valence electron with this atom, and the fourth valence electron with this atom. And similarly, each atom will share its 4 electrons with 4 adjacent atoms. And by sharing we mean that electron belongs to both the atoms. To understand that, let's consider these two atoms. Let's draw it separately. When we consider this atom, as we said, it has 4 valence electron. Let's consider one of its valence electron here, and it will share this valence electron with the other atom. And this atom has also 4 valence electron, and it will share its 1 valence electron with this atom. And when this atom share its electron with this atom, this electron now belongs to this atom and also to this atom. And similarly, this electron now belongs to this atom and also to this atom. Similarly, this atom will share its 3 more valence electrons with 3 adjacent atoms. So after sharing, it will look like this. This atom is shared 1 electron with this one. Then it will share its second electron with this atom. Then it will share its third electron with this atom, and it will share its fourth electron with this atom. Okay. And also this atom is shared its 1 electron with this atom. This atom is shared its 1 electron with this atom, and this atom is shared its 1 electron with this atom, and also this atom is shared its 1 electron with this atom. So now when we consider this center atom, it has its own 4 valence electron plus 4 shared electrons from 4 neighboring atoms. Thus the octet is completed. Similarly, each and every atom will share its own 4 valence electrons with 4 neighboring atoms and will complete its octet. And that is the concept of covalent bonding. And this figure shows the atomic structure of such covalent bonded semiconductor. So here we can see these atoms are bonded together by using covalent bonding to complete the octet. And as we said, this covalent bonding is formed by using sharing of electrons. Now the electrons that are shared in bonds are called bonded electrons. So the electrons that are shared in bonds are called bonded electrons. Okay, so this electron is a bonded electron, this electron is a bonded electron, and all these electrons are bonded electrons. Now what happens if an electron breaks the bond? To understand that, consider this figure. If any electron gets enough energy to break the bond, that electron will become a free electron. To break the bond, an electron needs additional energy, and if that energy is supplied to that electron, it will break the bond and it will become a free electron. And when an electron breaks the bond, it lost a negative charge as electron, and hence there will be a positive ion. To understand that clearly, let's consider these sections separately. Let's consider that 2 atoms and the 2 shared electrons. when this electron breaks the bond and become a free electron, then here there will be a vacancy of electron and this atom will act as a positive ion. And if this electron breaks the bond and become a free electron, then this atom will become a positive ion. And here it is not important that which atom is becoming a positive ion. So here we just denote a positive ion here to indicate that when a bond is broken, here we have a positive ion or a positive charge. Now in previous slide we mentioned that the electrons that are shared in bonds are called bonded electrons. Now here we have another type of electron. The electrons that becomes free by breaking the bonds are called free electrons. As we said earlier, the electrons need much more energy to break the bonds. So these free electrons have larger energy compared to the bonded electrons. And since these free electrons are not bonded, there is no bonding force on these free electrons. These free electrons can move freely according to the applied electric field. If we apply an external electric field or an external voltage source across the semiconductor material, that free electrons will move in a direction according to this applied source. So when we consider a semiconductor material, it consists of two types of electrons. One is the bonded electrons and the second one is free electrons. So always keep this in mind that when we consider a semiconductor, it consists of two types of electrons, bonded electrons and free electrons. Bonded electrons are the electrons that are shared in bonds and free electrons are the electrons that becomes free by breaking the bonds. Now here in our discussion we are talking about electrons. Why we are talking about electrons? What is the importance of electrons? The importance of electrons is that it is the electron movement that is contributing the current. We know when electrons are moving with a constant velocity in a particular direction, actually that is called current. Okay, so the electron movement is contributing the current. That's why we are talking about electrons here. Now as we said earlier, the free electrons are free to move, and when we apply an external supply source, it will move in a direction according to that supply and it will create a current. Now the question is whether the bonded electrons can contribute to current. What's your opinion about it? You can just pause the video and can think about it. And the answer is actually yes. The bonded electrons can also contribute to current. To understand that, let's consider these figures. So this is our figure 1, this is our figure 2 and this is our figure 3. In figure 1, we can see here one bond is already broken and there will be some free electron here, and here we have a positive ion. Now we know the positive ion will attract negative charges, or this positive ion will attract electrons. And when we apply the sufficient energy source, this force of attraction will be greater than the bonding force and the bonds may break and electrons from that bonds will move to the place of positive ion. So here we can see due to that force of attraction, this bond will break and the electron from here will move to this place. So here now the bond is completed and here there will be a positive ion that is shown in this second figure. Now the process continues and this positive ion will attract electrons from its neighboring bonds, and here we can see this bond breaks and electron move from here to here. And here the bond is completed and here we will have a positive ion that is shown in this third figure. So what we have seen here? Here we can see the bonded electron is also moving. Here we can see the bonded electron from here is moved to this place, and here we can see the bonded electron from here it is moved to this place. So we can see the bonded electron can also move and hence the bonded electron can also contribute to current. Now, the bonded electron movement is also associated with a vacancy movement. We can see a vacancy movement also corresponding to this bonded electron movement. Here by vacancy we mean vacancy of electrons. In this figure we can see here we have a vacancy of electron. Here we have a positive ion means here we have a vacancy of electron. And when the bonded electron move from here to here, we can see the vacancy is moving from here to here. That is shown in this second figure. The vacancy is moved from this place to this place. And again, when the bonded electron move from here to here, we can see the vacancy is moved from here to here. Okay. So, corresponding to a bonded electron movement, there is a vacancy movement also in the opposite direction of electron movement. And this vacancy created due to the movement of bonded electron is called a hole. So, here comes the concept of hole. So, always keep this in mind that the holes are created due to the movement of bonded electrons. In some situations, if we think in terms of bonded electrons instead of holes, then it will be helpful to understand some ideas clearly. Now, as we said earlier, when we consider a semiconductor material, it consists of two types of electrons, free electrons and bonded electrons. And we have seen that both these electrons can contribute to currents. And the current due to free electrons is normally mentioned as electron current, and the current due to bonded electrons are normally mentioned as hole current. So when we consider a semiconductor material, two types of currents are present in it. One is electron current and the second one is hole current. And keep this in mind that the electron current is due to the movement of free electrons and the hole current is due to the movement of bonded electrons. Now, what is the direction of current flow? We know the direction of current flow is in the direction of movement of positive charges. Here we know the electrons have negative charges and the hole means it is a vacancy of electrons, and we have also seen that the holes are moving in a direction opposite to that of electron movement, and at the place of hole actually there is a positive ion, and hence we can consider the holes have positive charges, and hence we will take the direction of current as in the direction of hole movement. And hence the electron current or the current due to free electrons will be in the direction opposite to the direction of movement of free electrons, and the direction of hole current will be in the direction of movement of holes or in the direction of movement of vacancy, and both will be in the same direction and both currents will get added up. So keep this in mind that when we consider a semiconductor material, in that two types of current flows, one is electron current and the second one is hole current, and the total current that flows in the case of semiconductor material is the sum of electron current and hole current. So with this we are winding up our first lecture here. In our next class we will discuss about the energy band diagram of the semiconductor material and the concept of density of states. Thank you.